What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for life, coming at you on YouTube, and today I've got some football focus. Last night we had Week 3 of the NFL preseason, Pittsburgh Steelers versus Tennessee Titans, and this was the big dress rehearsal game. This was the last time you'll see the starters play before Week 1 in Foxborough, so this was the kind of a chance to see how the starters are doing. They haven't played in the first two games, a lot of them. First time seeing Ben tonight. First time for any real action for Juju and Connor. And McDonald and guys like that. Pittsburgh won the game. I think the final score was 18-6, so we're now 3-0 in the preseason. Doesn't mean much score-wise, final-wise. Preseason is to check out your players and see what you got and who's competing for what. But we saw the starters feel pretty good in there. They played, I think, 2 drives, maybe 3. Got about 2 drives in there. Ben came in, looked really good. Got Juju involved in the offense for the first time. Juju, I think, had 3 or 4 catches out there in this game, including a short post touchdown, Ben to Juju on the second drive of the game. That was it for them. All you need is one good touchdown drive. Your starters should go sit down. No sense risking any injury there. So Ben looked pretty sharp in getting Juju involved. Moncrief got 1 or 2 short catches as well. He looked good. Juju got his touchdown. That was good. Connor looked really good. I think he had like 40-something yards out there. Wound up with like 8 yards per carry or something like that. I saw something crazy. He was looking really good out there, making catches out of the backfield, making spin moves. Again, between Ben, Juju, Moncrief, Connor, these guys look like they're ready for regular season football. So it's time to go into the Patriots nice and healthy. Vance McDonald had a couple targets, didn't get any catches. He had a couple contested plays. One was a drop, one was contested. But as long as he's healthy, that's what we want to see. Tight end is one of our biggest holes right now because Xavier Grimble doesn't look good. Gentry's only playing later in the game. Kevin Rader's not looking very good. So tight end-wise, we're kind of thin. Please, Vance, get in bubble wrap. Please roll yourself in bubble wrap and do not leave the house for the next few weeks. We need you in Foxborough and against other big teams. Offensive line looked fine. That rotation's got about 8 guys on it. They all look pretty sharp. Chooks Okafor didn't get called today. No calls on him, so his best game so far, he was out there. Overall, can't say enough about the starting offense. This was mostly about the backups from about the second or third drive on. Mason Rudolph came in to play for the backup guys. It looks like he's the number 2 guy. Between starting last week and getting the reps behind Ben this week, it looks like Mason has been decided as the second quarterback. And stats-wise, you can't argue. Mason's stats in this game and the others look a lot better than Dobbs's do. But I'm still on the hill that I think Dobbs is the better quarterback overall. Mason came in last night with a nice big touchdown, a 41-yard touchdown pass to James Washington. They have great chemistry. They're college teammates. They're always good for the deep balls together. But other than that, Mason didn't do much. He had a pick. He didn't lead any other scoring drives after that. Dobbs came in for a couple of good drives, but also threw an interception on a tip ball. I think it was in the red zone again, so that's his second red zone turnover. This one wasn't his fault. It was off Gentry's hands. It should have been caught. But stats-wise, you can't argue that Rudolph looks better, and he's more accurate of a quarterback. But I just think Dobbs is more elusive. He's more exciting to watch out there, which is no reason to make him a backup. But he gets away from plays. He had an escape of 2 sacks last night for a nice long completion to Trey Griffey. He's just good with his feet. I think his decision-making is a little better than Mason Rudolph's. And I think that first year to second year jump that he made last year in terms of preparation and getting better really showed. This year he's kind of stagnated. He's kind of still where he was last year. But I think he just shows a lot of hard work. He just shows a lot of determination. And just something about Dobbs makes me think he's equally good to Rudolph. But stats-wise, like I said, and Rudolph looked pretty good last night on his first drive. So you can't argue Rudolph being the number 2. Again, James Washington came in, didn't play much. But the one target that he did have downfield was a 41-yard touchdown where he beat someone downfield and got a nice contested touchdown catch. So James Washington is the single biggest star this preseason for us, much like he was last year. But this year, I think something is different. I think he carries that onto the field this year. And not only are we looking at him being the number 3 receiver, but I think we have to start looking at him being the number 2 receiver in place of Moncrief. I know Moncrief is a veteran. He's had a very good camp. But Washington is undeniably just a monster right now. High pointing the ball, athletically, footwork, hands. He just looks like he's doing everything right. So it's time to look at Washington not only as the number 3 receiver, but possibly as number 2, ahead of Dante Moncrief. What else on the offense here? Deontay Spencer in relief time had a good 29-yard reverse run. They got him involved in a trick play, and he got a nice 21-yarder. Again, this guy is explosive and fast when he gets open. He just doesn't seem to get open much. Return game-wise, he hasn't done what we expected. He had 1 or 2 good returns. Receiving-wise, he hasn't done much of anything. But rushing, he had this good play here. But I don't think it's enough to get him on the roster. Deontay Johnson did not play tonight, but he's obviously in there, along with the other 5 guys we already have established. So Spencer looks solid. He could be a good practice squad guy, but I don't see him being in there on the main roster come the 53. Brandon Riley came in, got 2 nice catches in relief time with Dobbs. He's not going to make the roster either, but 2 nice catches for him. Defensively, well, I guess we can look at the running game real quick. Connor looked good. Who else was in there? Jalen Samuel looked pretty good for his short time. Nothing special, but he looks like a very solid number 2. Benny Snell's our number 3. He did not play in this game, so Trey Edmonds got most of the work. Edmonds ain't going to make the team, but there is a chance he makes it on the practice squad. Defensively now, Spillane, again, Robert Spillane, second game to notice him. He got beat on coverage again several times. He's not good in pass coverage at all, but he did get 5 tackles and a sack in this game, so 2 games out of 3. In relief time, he's looked very good, but his coverage is not great. I don't see him making the team either. Ulysses Gilbert came in for 4 nice tackles. He made his presence known mostly later in the game. He's not played great against the starting teams, but against the backups, he always makes a splash. I think he's done enough to be a backup inside linebacker on this team. I like what I've seen from him in this preseason. It's really a shame Sutton Smith has been injured and not played, because he was going to be a possible young budding star to look at. And with him not being there, I think guys like Gilbert and maybe even Tuzar Skipper can make this team. I think Skipper has been the defensive standout on this team, even though it's late in the game. He had 4 tackles, a sack, and a forced fumble in this game. That is 3 consecutive games with at least a sack and a splash play in every game. So yeah, he's playing against third stringers, but he's making it happen out there. He is making plays when he's on the field, and that's all you can ask. I think Tuzar Skipper might be looked at as a number 9 or 10 linebacker. We already have like 8 guys guaranteed to make it, and then we have a couple guys fighting for that last 1 or 2 linebacker spots. I think Skipper's a guy to look at. Definitely practice squad. If he doesn't make the team, hope he gets signed to the practice squad and doesn't go somewhere else, because I like this guy's energy. I like him getting off the ball. I like him hard hitting and making plays and tackles. Short tackler, good splash play guy. Cam Kelly played a lot last night. He was in there with the ones early on, made a few plays, a few tackles. Then Sean Davis got hurt. We don't know how serious that is yet. Hopefully he's okay, because our safety stuff is not super assured after the 2 starters. But Cam Kelly played most of the game last night and played pretty well. Didn't make any huge plays, but did get a few tackles. Hopefully he's going to be on this roster, because again, after Davis and Edmonds, what do? Do you play Mark Barron back there a little bit? Do you play Mike Hilton back there a little bit? After that, Jordan Dangerfield, he looked pretty good last night, but I'm not a big fan of Jordan Dangerfield overall. And then what do you do? Bring Marcus Allen in? Do you have Cam Kelly stay there? So backup safety-wise, you have a lot of possible options, but it's going to include moving a lot of guys around the field. And if you want to have a set personnel, you're going to have Cam Kelly back there. And then T. Scales came in for a sack late in the game as well. Practice squad guy possibly, but he was injured all year last year. Didn't do much this year. This was his first big play, so I don't see him making the roster. But overall, all the guys you expected. Ben in the first team offense with Connor, Juju, getting some guys on the field. Backup-wise, Washington killed it again. Mason looked really good again. Overall, you can't complain. The starting defense looked amazing. I mean, the whole defense as a team held Tennessee to 6 points, 2 field goals, no touchdowns, and got 7 sacks in this game. Constant pressure. Stephon Tuitt got 2 sacks, including a safety in this game with the starters. Cam Hayward got a sack with the starters. Dupree, I think, got another sack. Watt got constant pressure, so the front 7 looks really, really good on this team. Barron's been out there in coverage. Bush looked really good in this game again, so starting defense-wise, we look excellent, and I can't wait to see how this team makes it work in the regular season. So what impressed you about our 18-6 win? Who are you looking at, and who do you want to see next week on the bubble that could or could not make this team and make the practice squad? Tell me in the comments down below, and I will see you guys next time for some Football Focus.